After Tasha K made a startling remark that left fans speechless, social media is in complete disarray tonight. Erica may be pregnant, based on her most recent shocking revelation. Additionally, Mendeecees' spouse is the purported father. Yes, you heard correctly. It's the type of narrative that nobody anticipated, yet everyone is unable to stop talking about it, even behind Yandy's back. After Tasha released the video, timelines were inundated with crazy arguments, pictures, and hypotheses. Supporters are referring to it as the largest betrayal scandal in hip-hop and romantic history. Here's the twist, however. Tasha didn't only imply, "I have sources from deep within the circle," she remarked bluntly. The assurance, the tone, her delivery was so well-timed that it made everyone sit up and pay attention. The internet is now in a frenzy as it attempts to determine if this explosive report is true or just another online conflagration. What is true? What is retaliation? And what is just amusement? Addicts are riveted to their monitors, analyzing each post, like, and quiet from the actors. Is this the final betrayal that might put Yandy and Mendeecees' relationship to permanent ruin? That is the question that everyone is asking at the moment. Or just another, has the rumor gone too far? Hold on tight. The whole LHH world is going to be rocked by this one. Tasha K's most recent revelation was a huge shock to the internet. Nobody was ready for her words. Not the actors, not Yandy and Mendeecees, and certainly not the fans. She didn't sound lighthearted or conjectural. It was straightforward, self-assured, and infused with that distinctive Tasha demeanor that makes it clear she believes what she's saying. Leaning in close to the camera, she smirked slightly as she started her live stream, saying, "Now listen, I'm not here to play with nobody's marriage, but the streets are talking and what I'm hearing is wild." She paused to build suspense before dropping the line that sent social media into a frenzy. Media. Erica's pregnant, and word is, might refer to Mendeecees as the father. A digital firestorm was started by that one statement. Comment sections were overrun by fans. In a few minutes, while others claimed they had been seeing odd behavior between the two for months, others were indignant and called it simply another clout chase. Vintage Love and Hip Hop Clips episodes reappeared, scenes in which Mendeecees and Erica stood too near at gatherings, laughed at jokes, or shared screen time. One fan saw that seemingly innocuous situations were now being re-examined from a different angle, tweeted, "It was chaos that time. Now it makes sense." Erica laughed too hard at his comment. Yandy's supporters flocked to her page with encouraging comments and prayers. With the title Grateful, her most recent post included an old family picture that sparked thousands of comments, half tagging her to view Tasha's video, half protecting her. Her staff completely disabled comments in a matter of hours. According to insiders, she was caught off guard by the news and wasn't even there when it began to trend. According to one report, she discovered it when her phone began to vibrate constantly. She first believed it to be a joke, but it wasn't. By midnight, the rumor was already making headlines on blogs. Tasha K makes a shocking pregnancy announcement. Erica is expecting a kid with Mendeecees. Once again, Yandy's world falls apart. Verified entertainment sites also began to comment. Some demanded evidence, while others said they had first-hand knowledge of the rumor. Text message screenshots and grainy images of Erica leaving what seemed to be a clinic began to circulate. Specifically, one picture caught fire. Erica has her hand on her tummy, wearing an oversized sweatshirt. After examining the perspective and zooming in, fans deemed it proof. Mendeecees, on the other hand, fell quiet. No stories, no comments, and no postings. That quiet created its own narrative. People began to see it as a sign of guilt. He would refute it if it were untrue. Silence is confession, as one commenter put it. Others countered that he was likely told to keep quiet until the situation was resolved. However, the frenzy was further heightened by the lack of reaction. Tasha doubled down in the meantime. The following. She shared a video from her live stream on Instagram this morning with the message, "I said what I said." She then shared a picture of a wink face and a baby bottle emoji. The fans went crazy. Each comment section was turned into an area for research. "She wouldn't risk another lawsuit if she didn't have receipts," a person said. The lesson has not been learnt by Tasha. This must be untrue." Someone else answered. Everyone was watching, whether or not they believed her. By midday, Erica's name was popular throughout many nations. Reporters began phoning her management to get a comment, but no one answered. Rather, she shared a single narrative with the words energy on a dark backdrop. Never lies. It was ambiguous, but everyone had a different interpretation. "She's verifying it," a user said. Another said, "She's trolling y'all." The timing, however, was too exact to be disregarded. Beyond social media, the rumor swiftly gained traction. It was taken up and examined from all sides by talk programs and celebrity podcasts. "Is this just?" one host inquired. One individual said, "No, this one seems personal. You can't manufacture that type of emotion from Yandandi." Another Love and Hip Hop narrative leak for the next season? Speculation evolved into narrative, and soon the whole tale was posted on the internet. Mendeecees was seduced by Erica during their covert meetings while shooting, and their pregnancy completely destroyed everything. Then something unexpected happened. An unidentified source claimed to have overheard Erica and a close friend talking on the phone about a circumstance that might alter everything in voicemails uploaded to a gossip website. One sentence stuck out in the scratchy audio. "He fears that before we figure it out, she will find out." The voices weren't identified as Mendeecees or Erica, but it didn't matter. Supporters were persuaded. Her voice is filled with terror. One critic said, "This is too particular to be phony." Another continued, "By the evening, the story had made it into the mainstream of entertainment news, and commenters, bloggers, and even former cast members started to weigh in." Spice said on Twitter, "This industry is so dirty. Ladies, keep your peace." On her tail, Carly Red shared a mysterious message. The phrase, "truth always finds a way," is shown after an image of a shattered heart emoji. Fans were even more suspicious when Kirk Frost liked a post on the incident and then unliked it a few hours later. When screenshots of the unfollows began to circulate with comments such, "The loyalty switch has begun," it was alleged that Yandi's closest friend, Kendra, unfollowed both Erica and Mendeecees on Instagram, further escalating the conflict. That action lit the internet on fire, confirming to many fans that something genuine was taking on behind the scenes. Mendeecees eventually made an appearance in public a day later, and paparazzi captured him, leaving a recording facility in Atlanta. The video went viral when he just grinned tightly and got into his vehicle when reporters confronted him about the story. "Observe his face." Someone said, "He's guilty." "Now that's a man sick of stupidity." Another said, the argument continued. Tasha continued to tease throughout this, saying in a follow-up video, "Y'all think I'm done? Oh no, sweetheart. I received texts, voice notes, and even pictures. And believe me, the happy couple's future is not looking bright." The fans went crazy. Thousands of people left comments on her live stream, setting new records. "Put the receipts away. We need evidence. Yandandi should be informed." The conversation was blazing. She did not provide the said evidence. Not quite yet. However, she said Part 2 will be released shortly. That was all it needed to throw the internet into a tailspin once again. Theories were already being formed by tying dates and appearances together. An in-depth analysis of Mendeecees and Erica's times in the same city was posted on Twitter by one individual. As you can see, she blogged from Atlanta in July. He claimed to be there on business that same weekend. More than 100,000 people retweeted the thread. By day's end, what had begun as a rumor had developed into a complete obsession. Whether the narrative was real or not was no longer the question. Who would talk first was the question. Is it possible that Tasha may drop her receipts before Yandi finally speaks? The tension was intolerable. Additionally, for the fans, it was no longer only rumors. It was a live-streamed reality program. Social media seemed like a battlefield the morning following Tasha's shocking revelation. Their episode of Love and Hip Hop was leaked online. The 10-second footage, which showed Erica fighting with a producer off-camera and yelling, "You think I don't know what's being said about me?" was instantly connected to Tasha's admission by viewers. The pregnancy rumor is causing her to respond. The footage fueled an already blazing inferno, despite the network's lack of confirmation. One admirer said, "Look how nervous she looks." Mendeecees, however, could not be located on the internet. He didn't like anything, remark, post, or do anything else. That quiet became the loudest noise of all. In an attempt to get a response, people started tagging Yandi in every blog post. "Blink twice, girl, if you're okay." Another admirer said, "Please tell us you're not believing this mess." Before publishing a short tale late that evening that once again rocked the internet, Yandandi remained silent for the most of the day. 5 basic words, white writing and a black backdrop. Truth always comes to light. That was it. Everyone understood precisely who she was talking about, but there were no names or explanations. It went viral in a matter of minutes. Supporting comments poured in from fans who praised her for being strong, elegant, and unconcerned. However, others believed that her composure suggested that she could already be more knowledgeable than she really was, revealing. "She's too quiet," someone said. By the way, she knows something. Another layer of turmoil struck the next morning. According to a well-known blogger, Mendeecees had been visiting Atlanta more often than normal, and that Erica was also there. At around the same period, to match places, the blogger even retrieved previous entries. They said, "This ain't coincidence. For months, these two have been going about in the same circles." The internet was flooded with it despite the lack of concrete proof. In a matter of hours, Erica's and Men's became popular on social media. Erica was under increasing pressure to react. She finally spoke out with a message that was both dramatic and ambiguous. "Some stories are meant to stay misunderstood," she said as the caption for a black and white selfie she posted. Just confusion, neither confirmation nor denial. Her remarks went viral right away. "You don't refute it then? Is this how you say yes? Blinked twice, girl, if Tasha is telling the truth." People continued to speak more since she didn't respond to any of it. Insiders began discussing Yandi's unsettled state with bloggers behind the scenes. According to one close acquaintance, this devastated her, even though she was attempting to remain composed for the children. She had faith in both of them. According to another, she had a bad confrontation with Mendeecees when she addressed him personally. "You really think I'd do that to you?" he reportedly said, denying everything. However, the insider claims that Yandi didn't seem persuaded. They continued, "She's been through too much to ignore her instincts." When Safari interrupted, the tension increased even worse. "Y'all believe anything," he replied, smiling as followers bombarded his Instagram live chat with inquiries. "Tasha stay messy, but she'd be knowing stuff too," he said. So is he confirming it or denying it? That one sentence put everyone into a tailspin once again. A viewer inquired. Safari just grinned, took a sip of his drink, and terminated the live stream without responding. This was the greatest betrayal in hip-hop and love history, and every gossip website was going crazy. Erica was expecting Mendeecees' kid. Fan sites were making timelines, headlines were becoming louder and wilder, and Yandandi was taken by surprise by her own circle. People also dredged out earlier interviews where Tasha implied that a major controversy was going to happen, including when Erica was last seen in New York, when Mendeecees was shooting in Atlanta, and when Tasha allegedly discovered out. With hundreds of people waiting before she even began, Tasha went live again as the volume increased, beginning slowly as she flipped through documents on her desk. She said, "Everyone is requesting receipts. Let's just say I have something that will put an end to your doubts." She then presented a brief video of an unidentified. The speaker added, "I'm scared, Tasha. If this gets out, it's going to ruin everything." It was a muffled yet emotive voice note. Fans claimed it was Erica, even though she didn't identify anybody. Her accent is audible. It didn't matter whether it was genuine or phony. It was unquestionably Erica discussing Mendeecees on the internet. Flared, with some urging everyone to refrain from making hasty judgments, and others demanding that Yandi leave Mendeecees despite the lack of confirmation. One individual said, "This could all be fake. We don't even know if she's pregnant." The tempest was already brewing, and reason couldn't stop it. Erica's closest friends attempted to defend her, but even their words backfired. One of them wrote, "People believe anything found on the internet. Half of what's really happening is unknown to you all." That simply exacerbated the situation. There's a half that's true, so what half? The remarks were unrelenting. Fans were increasingly curious for facts as the rumor peaked, and it seemed like everyone was profiting off the confusion. People started criticizing him directly as his silence began to damage his reputation. One fan commented, "You owe your wife a public statement," under his previous post. "You were quiet the last time too," observed another. "Admit it. Still, he didn't do anything." There was no explanation, no denial, and it seemed as if he had entirely disappeared, leaving the rumors to grow, until suddenly another unexpected twist occurred. A fan shared a photo that seemed to show Mendeecees visiting the same Atlanta eatery where Erica had been tagged only days before. The message said, "Caught." The backdrop, lighting, and even the timing matched. It went viral in a matter of minutes. One user said, "They were in the same place at the same time? Nah, this ain't coincidence." Another person commented, "He really did it." The picture was immediately uploaded by blogs, and the descriptions became even more dramatic. Mendeecees and Erica were photographed together. Whether the photo was authentic or not, it provided the visual evidence that fans were looking for. Is this the proof that Tasha was referring to? Had been anticipating. After that picture appeared online, there was no going back, and everyone was curious to see Yandy's reaction. The issue was no longer whether Tasha's rumor was accurate, but rather whether she would remain quiet or at last come clean and tell the truth. Whatever happened next, it was obvious that this story had become too large to ignore. The storm only got worse over the next several days, with the identical headline appearing on every blog, podcast, and entertainment website in slightly different wording. It was the extent of the damage that would be done after the dust eventually cleared. The Love and Hip Hop family is split apart by Tasha K's Bombshell disclosure, and many were glued to it, staying up late looking through images, videos, and alleged insider leaks. Fans were unable to turn away from the developing story, which had beyond mere rumors. What's worse is that no one, the parties involved, were speaking, but not in a clear, public, or sufficient manner to prevent the rumor from becoming a reality in and of itself. By this point, both Yandy's and Mendeecees families have been drawn into the confusion. An obviously irate Mendeecees relative went live on Instagram. "You guys should quit spreading false information," he said. "Isn't anybody pregnant and Tasha is simply pursuing clicks?" Fans accused him of covering up for his cousin, but rather than cooling things down, his remarks simply sparked more controversy. Someone said, "Of course, the family's going to deny it." They said the same thing the last time there was a controversy. A few hours later, Tasha hit once again. She wrote in a mysterious message that the first stage is denial. Later, acceptance occurs. It immediately rekindled the topic when paired with a baby emoji and a wine glass. Blogs republished it with titles like, "Tasha doubles down, and is she hinting at new receipts?" Then a voice message started going viral online, purportedly from someone close to production, leaving many wondering whether she was sitting on something explosive or lying. "They told us to stay quiet till it airs," a lady could be heard saying on the tape. Because of this, no one is disputing it. Fans claimed that the unidentifiable voice was that of a Love and Hip Hop crew member, which explains the quiet, according to one remark. The notion that this whole controversy may be a part of a secret plotline pushed the fan base into still further frenzy, so they're keeping it for the show. Erica returned on social media, seeming composed, but was it genuine or staged? Were they manipulating our emotions? No one knew what to trust anymore? Perhaps too composed, she went live for about 2 minutes, grinning, drinking a smoothie, and declaring, "You guys believe whatever you read online." Words are not as powerful as energy.